Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. I hope you're doing good. Everything's great, right? Yeah, good. Okay, I want you to stop right now. Stop. Wait. Whoa. Stop. Before you buy that microphone, headphones, like camera, stop. No. No, put it down. Listen to me for a second. Before you spend a penny on any kind of equipment at all, stop. No. Stop. Before you purchase anything for your show, I want you to figure out your podcast topic and your format. You'll understand in a second why I'm telling you. Back away from the microphone. Give it back to the salesperson. Get off that website. Don't add the cart. You've added it to the cart? Okay. Don't hit ship. No, don't do it. Okay, please. Before you do anything, I need you to understand, what is your podcast topic? What is the format for your show? Why are these two things so important? Because it will determine what kind of equipment you need, how you show up, and it's more important than a microphone. Why do I not spend episodes upon episodes upon episodes talking about mics? Why? Because it's extremely boring. Like, talk about snooze fest. This mic, does this sound better than this mic? Does it sound better than this mic? This one's a this is a that, this has a thing, this is a thing, blah, 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 blah. Holy cow, is that, what boring? How boring is that? No. Microphones are the least important thing. Okay, here we go. Microphones are the least important thing when starting your podcast. Is it good to have a mic? I think so. I think it's much better than not. I prefer it over a phone, personally. That's my choice. You can podcast with your phone. You can do whatever you want. But for me, I've purchased a $50 microphone from Amazon. I've had it for 2,000 episodes. Plugs directly into my computer. $50. And you know what? I have no microphone envy. I get pressure from people like, oh my gosh, as a microphone snob, I see that your podcast microphone is not sufficient. And I'm like, oh, just pound salt. I don't care about your $400 mic. I don't need the latest microphone. I don't have a wall of mics behind me. I have this thing called a marriage. And I need to prove in advance that buying that microphone is worth my time. So a $50 microphone is all I need to get started. And 2,000 episodes later, I still use it. I'm using it right now. And it's all I need. So you don't hear tech talk on this show. That's not why we do this. Because microphones are not the most important thing about your podcast. It isn't. It's a tool, but it's not the most important thing. Right? Your microphone is the equivalent of a cup holder in your car. Great to have, not necessary, but it's great when you have one because you can put your cup in the cup holder. But what's more important is the car. The cup holder is not more important than the car, everybody. So your microphone is simply just a thing. And people spend much money, much too much money on a microphone. And then they go, I got all the gear. What should I podcast about? That's backwards. Choose your podcast topic and your format before you buy anything. Please. Your podcast topic. What is it that you want to talk about? You're like, I don't know what to talk about. Then maybe you and I need to sit together and talk about stuff, and maybe it'll just naturally come out in the conversation. I've done this with so many people who have come to me. They're like, I have sweet clue what I'm going to talk about on my show. And by the time we're done, they have the podcast name. They have the first few episodes already kind of worked out in their mind. They know who their audience is. They know everything. And now it's just up to them to go ahead and record. I can do that with you. Easily. We can do that. You and I together can do that today. We can. Creating your podcast topic and knowing what you're going to talk about, that is something that's going to come from a conversation with somebody else. Don't sit there and stare at the wall. You can do this in public, do this with someone else. Never podcast alone. And if you want to just soak in the goodness of podcasting, come to our podcast meetup, where we get other podcasters in the room and we talk podcasting, and we'll have other people there to help you and give you guidance, direction, support. Again, all at howtopodcast.ca. So whether you want to work with me one-on-one to kind of go through your ideas and formulate a plan, or you want to meet a bunch of other people who are super great, then come to our meetups. You got to determine your podcast topic. Now, are you going to podcast about this topic for the rest of your natural life? No, you don't have to. You can create many different shows. You can start a show, podcast for a while, end the show, start a new show, different topic altogether, create episodes, stop the show, create another show. You can do whatever you want. I have 9 different podcasts. So that's not something I wish on anybody, but it's unlimited. You can do whatever you want. Just because you have a topic and idea for a show doesn't mean you're going to do that show forever. So books have beginning, middles, and ends. Podcasts have beginning, middle, and ends. There's no harm in creating a podcast that ends. It just gives you the opportunity to start the next one. So choose your topic, and you don't have to be committed to it for the rest of your life. I don't know if I could talk about this topic idea forever. Then don't give yourself that kind of runway. You don't need to talk about this forever. It could be a short run podcast. No problem. But choose your topic. What are you going to talk about? And don't make it so broad that nobody would be interested. Make it just broad enough that people are like, I'm curious about that. That's how you're going to find an audience. Narrow down your topic to something that is interesting to you, you're passionate about, you're curious about. That's your first thing. And then the format is also important, because if you're going to do a live in-person podcast with multiple guests, you need different equipment than you need if you're a solo podcaster by yourself recording over the internet. So right there, if you're going to buy a mic before you know what your format is, you might be buying the wrong mic. You might be buying the wrong setup. If you're going to record in person with somebody, you need a way to capture multiple inputs into a single input into your computer. Your computer is not going to accept multiple inputs. It won't know what to do with that. So you have to have something in between the microphones and the computer that takes multiple line in, 3 or 4 mics, into one signal into your computer. So your needs technology-wise is totally different. If you're doing in-person podcasting, if you're doing remote podcasting where you're going to record on the go, on the street, in other locations, that's another thing. You don't have wires and power. You need a different type of setup for that. So you need to know your topic and you need to know your format. Your format also includes, is this interview in person or over the internet? Is it solo? In person? Over the internet? Is it video? Are you doing a video podcast? Are you doing an audio podcast? Are you doing a combination of both? All of these things are things that you need to consider before you buy anything. So I want you to close down that browser window, move those items to your wish list, and figure out first, what is my podcast about and what format am I going to do for my show? If you don't know how to do any of this, howtopodcast.ca. It's the name of the podcast. It's the name of the website. It's also the name of our meetup group. It's kind of a thing. howtopodcast.ca. Love to help you. Come check us out. And let's get you, before you spend a penny on any microphone, any technology, before you blow out your bank account to buy all that gear, I need you to figure out your podcast topic and your format. And then you can go shopping. And I'm happy to recommend a few things, including a $50 microphone that's worked for 2,000 episodes. You don't need that $400 mic. You don't. howtopodcast.ca.